Hello, my name is Rocket, and welcome back episode 5 of my Tiny Guardians 100% playthrough. So last episode we did Overgrowth, Story Mode, and Challenge Mode in the hard difficulty, and today we're going to move on to the Fractured Forest. So before that, let's go back to our upgrades here, and I want to go something like this. So we're gonna get a bit of bonuses on our knights. You have a nice solid front line. You have this rapid fire to have a little bit more damage from our archers. And I don't really like these new upgrades if you compare them to the other ones, because you know this gives us really solid new stats and damage, while this one just gives us some attack range and movement speed. You know, things if you move more accurately you can, you know, bypass, and you don't really need them. So I'd either go something like this. I have some extra attack speed on our stealth units as well, on our rogue, more precisely, because you know he's a character, a guardian I really like. And also a little bit of more casting range for our magician. We could also go for the movement speed, but I think this is fine. So obviously you can start to do a lot of different things depending on the strategy you're running. A reason why this game is also so much fun is that you can implement so many new strategies that is, you know, for you, and it could work, it could not. It really just depends if you try it out or not. I think everything else is pretty good explained and gone through, I believe. I think we don't really have anything else. As you can see, all the quests have been done as well. I currently have 9 coins. Oh, so something I can mention about that, I won't be buying any new units unless I really need to. I think if we're not going to have trouble in a level, I think we could just save the coins until we do have a bit of a struggle. And I think that's fine, right? We can keep using these you know, these guardians we got in the beginning of the game. And that's fine, right? So let's get into the Fractured Forest. Those who live near the Fractured Forest tell Lunali that there have been many magicians entering the forest recently, and Lunali believes she's on the right path. Right, so if you remember, she's trying to find her master, and obviously, you know, magicians and things like that entering the forest could be interesting. And let's go. Alright, just giving you a little moment to appreciate the new music and the new graphics presented to us. I really like this level, this introduction to you know, this type of you know, enemies and things like that. The music is incredible. You see some people running as you enter. It's just so good, and hopefully you did appreciate that little moment where it wasn't even saying anything. Alright, so let's go around and see. We have our normal dire wolves, we have bandits, and we have these new enemies over here. We have the goo and the small goo. So they both do ranged physical damage. They have no armor, but they attack really fast, so that could be troublesome if we aren't careful. Now, if looking at all of our enemies, you can see we're gonna probably find a lot of enemies, and you would like to go for a magician. The problem with going for a magician is that we only have 120 mana, so I think I'd rather go for a knight and an archer. And wait, why can't I go down? Alright. And this way I have 2 characters, 2 guardians protecting Lunali instead of 1. I think the combined damage of these 2 will be better than the magician. As you can see, we also have a nice little statue here. Looks pretty cool. I think we're ready to begin the Fractured Forest. This music is so good. I really like this introduction level. Alright, but let's go. Let's start. We have our regen and our starfall. I don't want to do that. And let's see what we can do here. You need to pay attention to see if enemies come from both sides. We currently have this wave here of 2 bandits and 2 dire wolves. Hopefully the archer doesn't go melee range. Come on, archer, you need to attack. Alright, there we go. We should be doing fine for now. There, knight took a little More damage than I would like to, but apparently I think we're fine. We're gonna keep moving on. Oh, so we see the statue shining, and again. And we have Trap. Places a trap that will damage enemies who walk over it. The trap takes some time to set up, so place it earlier. Alright, so let's try our new skill by putting it here. For these enemies, I also have a wave coming behind us. I'm gonna trigger that wave. Gonna make my knight go over here because that wave made... Alright, that was pretty good actually. The trap doing a lot of damage. I'm gonna call this wave as well. Hopefully the archer takes care of that. And I think we're good for now. We can now summon another archer or knight, but I'm going to be saving it for another character, maybe a magician or a rogue. I mean, I think we're having a lot of enemies come up, so maybe a magician would be good. There's actually a lot of enemies. I'm gonna just starfall it. Alright. I'm gonna summon a magician over here. Alright, so now I have 3 characters. Let's change now like that. Looks fine. And we have the statue shining even more. Alright. I have a new monster here. The Dark Walker. They have decent HP, really high magical damage, and we have a medium magical defense. I'm gonna stay, you know, paying attention to what happens around me so I can trap enemies coming. And look at that, they're doing so much damage to our units. I'm gonna have to heal them up. And we're currently doing just okay. Not the best, but not the worst. And our knight is taking some serious damage. I'm gonna retreat him for a little bit. I really didn't want to upgrade any units because I want to call the rogue. There we go. Now we have a full formation, which will be pretty good. But we have 2 very low characters. I'm going to put my rogue at the back. And let's have the star shining again. Or the statue, not the star. And alright, they healed a little bit. I'm going to keep my trap ready as well. Oh, and we just got trap here. Alright, so the statue is shining a lot and it's gone. And I have a hunter. Alright, so before that, let's pause a little bit and see what's happening. So, the statue was a guardian called the hunter. So we got a hunter for ourselves for a little bit. It's a level 4 hunter. You don't know its HP. Does 13 to 15 physical range damage. It has low armor and high attack speed. And this is a new enemy we just found. So these trees, you know, you can maybe not notice from these different trees, but they're actually an enemy. They call it the wild trend. So the root of your problems lies with these deceiving trees. Range units have a knack for spotting hostile plants. So this is a reference to the hunter. So the hunter's ability is that it can sense traps and enemies that you know, are invisible. So things related to traps and invisibility, the hunter can, you know, hunters are usually good at those things, so they can actually spot these trees. So you cannot damage the wild trend unless you have a hunter spotting them out with their ability. So it's very important on these next few levels where you have all these wild trends appearing, and maybe some invisibility characters also appearing, to have a hunter to help you out with those, because you cannot attack this tree unless you do have a hunter. And you know, that's just damage she's probably just going to pour out without you, you know, being able to do anything. As you can see, they stun you, and that can be an issue. So, you know, keep in mind to have a hunter. Alright, so I'm gonna... Oh, so this is the first time I actually lost a card. I was talking too much and we lost our knight. Or maybe not, this is probably... I don't know. So, Spirit Form. Uh-oh, a unit has been defeated. But don't worry, units regenerate and will revive. So when a unit gets 0 HP, it reaches Spirit Form. So if you remember our challenge mode levels, they don't allow you on Spirit Form. When you lose a character, it's gone. But in the story mode, once one of your guardians is defeated, they go to Spirit Form, and they slowly will regenerate health, and then you can revive them after they have 60%, I believe. So, you know, that's pretty good. we lost our magician, so I'm gonna put them close here so I can heal them up. I'm gonna put a trap there for these enemies appearing. I'm gonna get that coming. I'm gonna wait a little bit. We can summon that wave as well. And we're having some issues here. I'm gonna just keep them very close. I'm gonna starfall these 4 bandits over here. As you can see, she also places traps. So the hunter places traps and also, you know, sees the traps of the enemy. So that can be very helpful along the way. And alright, we're doing just fine for now. Hopefully, you know, hopefully we can do good without leveling up anyone. The reason why I'm not leveling up anyone is that after this tiny waves, we get ourselves the Hunter Guardian card for ourselves. And I want to summon a summoner, or summon a hunter. She's the summoner. Now, the hunter. So hunters deal fast and consistent damage. With keen eyesight, they can detect stealth units. So stealth units, these, I guess you can say that these, I forgot the name of these trees. They are also a kind of stealthy, and they also put traps down. As you can see here, there's a trap. Traps are also their specialty. So as you can see in this little presentation here, this little image, we have this unit here. It's going invisible, but the hunter actually, you know, spots them. So very good stuff happening. And the hunter will be very useful in these types of level. I'm actually gonna move the hunter this way so they can spot this tree over here. There's a few trees like this while you do the level, and I'm just gonna stop a little bit. It's a bit hard to actually notice them, but they usually have like 2 eyes, and like I guess normally an enemy should have. So we have a new enemy appearing. This is the Berkey. They're playing from this this pile of mud. Since this is a new level, we have so many enemies appearing. So you know, I have to talk a little bit about everything. It takes a little bit longer, but so wander too close and you'll remember never to step into these puddles again. They hit hard enough to damage those in near their targets. So you do not want your melee characters to be hitting these, because they do splash damage and it's not good. And also, we haven't seen this one. He has high magical defense, so having a hunter attack, it's really good. And I'm gonna level up my knight over here. Something we can start to abuse right now is that, oh god, our magician's gonna die again. Come on, go over there. Alright, this is really bad. We're losing so many points. I need someone to deal with these. We lost like that. That's a lot. We also have a wave coming from behind us, so as you can see, a lot more things are happening. It gets a lot harder as you move on through the game. Alright, that was a pretty bad trap. We have a new enemy, so those were the Geus that were attacking at really high speed, if you remember from when we started this level. So gooey creatures that split into 2 just when you think you have taken care of them. Have someone who is good at dealing with large numbers. So currently our only guardian that deals with it is the magician. So something I was talking about is that we can start to abuse our level ups because we gain a lot of mana from these targets, or these enemies. And the knight and the archer have a base cost of 80, right? So you can actually summon a lot of, or you can actually level them up really, like a lot of levels, level 5, which I believe is the max, without much trouble. So you can abuse that a little bit. As you can see, you already have another level up for level 3 on knight. And we still have the level 1 on the others because it costs like 150 or something, 140. And you know, getting them at level 2 or getting them at level 4 is 140. So as you can see, you can abuse that a little bit. I'm going to be leveling up these characters as much as I can because the more levels, the better, right? And I'm going to put my hunter here so you can attack this one. This bush is the Wild Trent. I always forget that name. I'm actually going to swap that. I'm gonna click on it. Hopefully they can take care of that. There we go. Our knight was actually in a bad position. I'm talking so much that I'm not paying too much attention to what's happening. but hopefully we're still doing fine. There's still a lot of waves coming, so we just need our knight to do something. Come on, knight, what are you doing? So archer level 3 as well, there we go. I need my knight over here to tank this incoming wave. Gonna heal my team. We should be fine. Our rogues are taking a lot of damage here. Actually lost the rogue. But I think the knight is, the knight is a bit tankier. It's also level 2, so we should be able to do it. And there we go, I think we did it. Just gonna level it up, why not? Oh, so as you can see, these levels get super dense, a lot of waves coming. I can't really talk and play at the same time. It gets a little hard to do that, but we messed up a little bit. But I wanted to talk a little bit about all these enemies and things, but we did it. Hard difficulty, 3 stars. And let's talk about everything we just witnessed, because there's a lot to talk about. Alright, so we currently have 19 stars. And there's introduction to a new sort of forest, as you can see, this purple forest with that really great spooky music. So before we start with anything, the first thing we unlocked by defeating the fractured forest is this. So you have our regen, our starfall, and our trap here that we just got on our last level. We unlocked this little box here, where we can upgrade these spells as we want. So very cool. But for now, we'll be back there. Let's go to our collection, let's go to our units, and let's go to Hunter. So Hunters have a key 9 for disguise enemies and set up efficient traps. And, very cool. They're, a better version, Jesus, than the Archer, but obviously they cost a lot more. I think it costs 150, right? So the Archer costs 80. You can also almost summon 2 Archers while summoning a Hunter. So, the Hunter is very good for the characters that we find in the Fractured Forest. As you can see, the background is also the purple forest where you find, the enemies into the Fractured Forest, because, she's better there for specific counter abilities that she has. That's the key 9 she has, and to set up efficient traps against all these invisible enemies you find. So, very interesting things. Also have our achievements. We haven't unlocked this one. It's a total of 35 stars. That's going to take a while. We have another coin here. Very good. And we still have to go to our collection to our enemies. So as you can see, a lot of enemies here. So we did beat the goo, and it has the ability multiples. So that's split into 2 just when you think you have taken care of them. So when you defeat the goos, they turn into tiny goos, or small goo. So smaller bits of goo. They also do a lot of damage because, they do 5 to 6 for the normal attack speed. Then we have the Murky. On first glance, they look like petals of mud. Oh, I'm reading this again for no reason. But they have the ability Splash Damage. So as you know, you do not want them to face your melee characters. So you want your range characters to deal with them. They are, very tanky, do a menacing amount of damage. Medium on both magical and physical defense. You have the Dark Walker. This one was really problematic in this level right now. They have 50 HP, but they do a lot of damage. 20 to 22 magical damage. We don't really have that many guardians that do well against magical damage. He has a medium magical damage. Jesus. They have a... why can't I speak? They have a medium magical defense. Alright, we did it. The problem with that is that, because of this, you cannot use your magician as efficiently, because when the Darkwalker appears, there's usually a big wave of them, like 5 or something like that. But since they respond well to magical damage, you cannot use your magician that has, AoE damage, so she attacks multiple targets at the same time to deal with them. You need to use something like the Hunter, which attacks really, really fast, and that's the best way to deal with them. So, it's a very problematic enemy, but we'll have to find a way to deal with it in the future. We also have the Phantom Niar. We actually didn't find any, but they are predatory cats that move with great stealth. Being attacked by an undetected phantom Near hurts. So as you can see, once they enter through the trees, they actually turn invisible, and the way to counter this is by using the Hunter, and she can actually spot out the invisible Nears, and if they have the stealth ability, they do a lot more damage. And then we have the Wild Trent, which have the stealth. So as you can see, the Hunter counters the stealth, just like the Phantom Near. And it has Entangles, so they kind of just stun you in your place for a little bit. That can also be problematic. So a lot of new enemies appearing here. But you know, we're dealing with that. And for now we need to go for the challenge mode. So we cannot use revives. We cannot use ranged units, so this is something new. Up until now we were only not allowed to use melee units, so warrior type units. And we can use maximum level 2 upgrades. So I'm gonna go 2 and everything. Oops, that was 3. Alright, that's fine. Alright. Because I can't really take a point off, so I would have to reset and do it all over again, it's fine. Alright, with that I think we're ready to go to the challenge mode. I think we covered the majority of things. I think we're ready, let's go. You actually have a Hunter, so you see, putting the points on the ranged units was beneficial. Now I have 120 mana, so I would prefer to summon either a Magician or a Rogue. And you have some Direwolf Cubs here. You have some Direwolves, some Bandits, some Goo, and that's it. So you can see a lot of enemies coming up. Maybe I would like some of the Magician to deal with them, but I also want a front line for the Hunter to attack, so maybe a Knight. Or Rogue. Let's try a Rogue, why not? Let's put him there, sure. Alright, let's go. We also need to be careful behind us, but we'll see how we do. Oh, and there's an entanglement over there. I didn't even spot it out. We do have a wave behind, so we're gonna trap that. And hopefully that'll be fine. I want to put my Hunter over here so we can deal with that card. I'm gonna actually take care of these really fast, because they can be really problematic. Heal my full party. Hopefully start to, you know, defeat these enemies, because I need to summon a Knight over here to take care of these 2 bandits over there. There we go. That should be fine for a little while. The Rogue should kill this bandit. The Hunter will kill the Wild Trent, and we have. Alright. That's pretty good. So the level ended. So the waves ended and we just leave. Actually can put the Hunter there. Maybe you can take care of it. Come on, kill it! There we go. You get a mana push in there. Now there's a bit of a problem here because we have these Dark Walkers appearing. I do want a 4th character. I want a Magician on my crew as well, so she can do that really good AoE magical damage. I'm gonna actually summon my party over there so I can heal them up. I have a wave appearing behind, so I'm gonna use a trap there. Come on! That was pretty bad. Oh well, I'm gonna... Oh, you can summon... Oh, there you go. I was like, wait, where's the Magician? But there we go. Magician will help us, and I'm going to start leveling up our Knight and abusing those level ups to make him in a very powerful front line for us. So I'm gonna put the Knight in the front line, and we're gonna keep it like that. I mean, where's the... Actually, should put it above with that. Yeah, that's a Wild Trent. So very good. We actually have some Goos coming from behind us. They're very, very annoying. So I'm actually gonna... Oh, damn! I forgot to do that. Wait, did I miss? No, I did hit the Starfall, and they became small. The small Goos. You know, I need to be a lot more proactive and move a lot more and do a lot more things in a short amount of time, because there's a lot of waves and you know, just events happening. I really need to take care of all of those. I'm gonna leave my hunter to deal with these wild trends. Usually when you defeat these wild trends, you get something out of it, like a potion, so that can be very useful. And I want... no, I think we're fine. I just need them to get really close together, heal that up, put a trap behind these for these enemies appearing. And come on. There we go. The hunter almost killed it. I'm just gonna leave it here. Alright, there we go. Health potion. Very useful. I'm gonna level up my row because he's dying here. And we can keep the potion for a little bit longer. Alright, so after that wave is taken care of, that's pretty good. I'm gonna summon my rogue immediately there, and I think that's fine. Alright, we're doing pretty good so far. Already got 4 members, and I'm also getting some upgrades already happening, which is very good. We can put our knight at level 3 now, which will be very helpful as well. And I'm gonna put maybe my hunter over here, so... I mean, here's the best. Alright. Another wild trend there. There's also one over here. So I need to tap it, because when it stuns you, you want to tap it, so it stops, well, you know, leaving you stunned. I'm gonna level up my knight again, to level 4, I believe. Yeah, level 4 to 3 stars. We're gonna put a trap here, maybe, if someone appears. My team's actually getting pretty low. I'm gonna summon them all together. Heal them up a little bit. We got a mana potion. We have some enemies coming up there. I'm gonna trap that. That's really good. Alright, that was a really good trap. We just got every enemy. And I'm gonna level up my magician. We have a lot of these goose to take care of, and the magician is the one that deals with them. Alright, there's maybe too many of them. What? I'm gonna starfall that and heal them up. Come on, come here, hunter. Maybe I should have starfalled this wave here. But these goose are very annoying. I need to keep my magician over here so she deals with that. And I'm gonna level up my hunter. She's gonna die here. I need my rogue to leave for a little bit. Just leave and do range damage. Come on. Also need our hunter to leave. I'm gonna heal them up here. That was actually a bad heal. I could have healed Lunali, but my rogue is always trying to go for the fight, and I need to control him a bit better. But there we go. Whew. Let's move on here. I'm gonna put my hunter over here to deal with this enemy here. I'm gonna keep my rogue at the end there. I'm gonna trap here. There's probably gonna be a wave coming. There we go. So everything running pretty smooth. Gonna heal my team again if needed. I'm gonna level up my rogue maybe. A nice front line would be good. Have some dark walkers as well. Good that I leveled up my rogue, because now he's doing a lot of damage. So we actually just one-shot the dark walkers, and by defeating the wild trend again, we get another potion. Very useful. I'm gonna... Alright, I really need my characters to be here. I'm gonna heal that. I'm gonna starfall the goose, and I'm going to level up. Who do I level up? The hunter, because the hunter is pretty low. Alright, go hunter. I'm gonna put my magician back. I'm gonna get that potion. And there we go. We're doing fine here. I want to level up my magician here, so I can deal with all these waves a lot faster. Alright, so we have some, the Alpha Dire Wolves, 2 of them coming in. So I'm gonna actually trap them a bit closer to see if they actually proc on these 2. Ah, they're out. Actually, yeah, I damaged them. I'm gonna heal up these 2. They're really low. So for some reason, my magician is tanking, but I think it's fine. And there we go. Whew. I think we're done. Another challenge in hard mode dealt with, and we did it. There we go. Hard. Whew, that was pretty hard. No duh. But with that, we have done everything in the Fractured Forest level, I believe. So you have 20 stars now, and there you go. Both in hard mode with the tick. And we have the Fractured Forest one completed, so now I have 12 coins. And that's it. We didn't get any new enemies, we didn't get any new achievements, everything's just done. So there we go. With that, everything I wanted to do today has been done. Next episode, we'll be doing the Bandit Maze. But for now, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.